And that was not a mistake, I'm telling myself. Hello friends, I'm very excited to finally reveal to you my finished Wonky House quilt top. I posted a tutorial for my improv houses a few months back. This video has now been a few months in the making because this project just grew way bigger than me. I totally intended to just make a pretty simple Wonky House quilt like my very first quilt ever kind of was. And then the ideas kept flowing. And so we ended up making an entire wonky neighborhood. There's cars, there's trees, there's houses, there's an apartment building, there are cows on the road, etc. So I filmed the process, documented a lot of it, so I'm excited to share it with you. But part of the reason it took me this long was because I was simultaneously working on this improv how-to guide for you. You can find this in my shop now. You can purchase this physical booklet version. Isn't it cute? Or you can buy the digital version. It has illustrations by yours truly for how to make wonky houses and how to add elements like extra windows, extra floors, pathways, all kinds of things like that. So I'm gonna jump right into the vloggy style video so that you can see exactly how I put together my wonky neighborhood quilt. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, I forgot to say I'm Nikki and this is Pen Cut Sew. And you can go purchase this from my shop. I'll put it in the very first link below so that you can find it super easy. I hope you like it. Okay, let me add just one last thing. It feels like I'm coming in the very middle of this project, and that's because I am. But maybe that's because you've also missed the previous tutorials for the wonky houses that I made and the wonky trees and some other elements. So I'm gonna put those in a playlist for you to watch. And also if you followed along at all on Instagram or on my community tab here, you have seen that I'm making a medallion quilt with a big wonky apartment building in the middle, and then going out from there surrounded by things and trees and houses. So that is kind of where I left off before Christmas. And so since then, I've just been working to finish the quilt top. So I'm just gonna jump in where I left off before. So the next thing I need to finish is the border of cars. And I need lots more cars to go all the way around. And I'm trying to put them all on a black or gray base, sort of to make a dark border. And to, you know, it's a street, so it should be black. I also have a cow I'm gonna put in there. So I have some fabrics with cars. This one I already had. I think I used what was salvageable on here. I think I got one van out of it. The rest I think are too cut up already. But I might use this camping scene for one of the corners, and then I might use these clouds for something else. So I want to keep that one. I have some little bicycles. Here's a cow. I definitely want to put a cow in the road because that would be funny. This camping print has a little camper van on it, but oh, it has this car too, which I already used one of. And since I knew I was going to need a lot, I went ahead and found this print on Etsy, and it has lots of cars, and it was the right scale. I wanted them all to be approximately the same size. I'm not sure if I'll use the camper because obviously it would need pulled by something, but maybe I'll try to attach it to a car. That would be kind of cute. So all I'm doing, and then these are for corners maybe. All I'm doing is sort of just framing the car in a bluish fabric, and then I'm putting on the bottom gray or black. So let me speed through how I make one of these. I think I'm gonna pick I already used a van. I like this little guy. I'm gonna use him. So I'm just gonna cut him out, leaving at least 1/4 inch. It will be on the bias, but that's okay because these cars are not straight on the grain, obviously. This doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, this is wonky. But I did try to put the tires directly on the ground. So I'm gonna leave just a little bit of fudge room, but cut it off 1/4 inch underneath the tires. Let me choose a blue fabric. I like that, but I think I'm trying to go lighter. This is the part that takes me forever. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh wait, I think I like this. Actually, I really like this. I don't have enough light blues to make them all light, so I think I'm gonna have to make some dark anyway. So I'm gonna use this. Okay, basically I'm just making a log cabin. So I'm just gonna cut some strips. They don't need to be straight. I'm gonna frame the car. I am trying to make them all the same height. So let me try to remind myself how tall I was making them. This section needs to be 3 inches, so let me go sew the sky on first. Plug in my iron. Okay, you can trim this off if you want to. And then I'm gonna put the sides on. I cut my strips bigger than I needed them to be, but that's okay. Okay, put this one on. Trim if necessary, press it. Okay, now I can put my ground on. I've been cutting the ground strips 1.5 inches. I bought some more of this. This is one of my most useful prints I usually have on hand, so I bought some more of it recently. Let me just cut 1.5 inch strip because I'm definitely going to use it for more than just this block. Now I can use a piece to go across the bottom. Let me straighten this out first. We'll stitch that on and then we'll square it up. Okay, when I sewed this on, I tried to stitch just under the wheels so that it will really look like the car is on the road. Okay, so I am trying to make these uniform in height. They need to be 4 inches tall. This needs to be 1.25 inches, so I'm going to square 1.25 inches of the ground because I want all the grounds to meet up and look like one continuous road. But the width can be any width really. So I'm going to leave them kind of wide as they can be for now, because when I put them all together, they need to go around the entire border without the car getting chopped in half. But it's not really essential that I stress over it because I can always add in a tree, a stoplight, or even just a piece of ground with a piece of sky. Like, this is liberated quilting at its absolute most fun. And actually, some of those little mistakes make for the most interesting parts of the quilt. There, so there's my little car. I'm gonna keep going and see if I can make cars to go all the way around it. I'll take you along, keep you posted. Okay, so I have a new dog and he is obsessing over a squirrel outside. So if you hear him, there's a back door in my sewing room, so that's all it is. So I have finished making a lot of the cars and cows, but I think I'm gonna redo the cows because I don't like how I made this like slanted. I was trying to like cut off the chicken and the word moo, but I don't really like how it looks next to all the other ones that are more straight lines. So I'm gonna do something different. But I wanted to point out that you can frame any picture into a little log cabin quilt block like I just showed you. It can be small, like I made a chicken on this one. It doesn't matter what size it is, you can use that same method to just frame it into a little quilt block. I was thinking it would be cute to make like a little Instax film quilt. If you frame a lot of little pictures like this in a white Instax looking frame, so cute. And then on this one, I put a chicken on top of the car. I just slashed the top piece in half and inserted the chicken the same way. So I made like a mini version and then I put it on top of the van. So I'm getting pretty creative over here. I think I have 3 cars left to make and then I'm gonna remake the cows. And then I'll be ready to move on to the corners, which I need some problem solving brain power for. Okay, the next step in my process is to figure out that last round of houses. I started the houses first and I was not making them a uniform size because I really didn't know what I was going to do with them. And that was not a mistake, I'm telling myself. But now I need to figure out how to make them uniform enough to create a border around it without looking too crazy and insane. So that is my next hurdle. I'll show you whatever I come up with. I mean, I do also need to make more houses. I have 1, 2 there. I have 3 over here. And I have 1 plus a doghouse down here. I made the doghouse it's too big to look like a doghouse that's supposed to be proportionate to these other houses, but there's animals in the other houses too, so I'm just gonna make it an actual house. And then they all have a border of like foreground, but they're not all the same size. So I could at least make the grounds the same size, and that would create cohesion in a border of ground. And then I can figure out how to make the tops of the shorter ones bigger. I could just add sky, honestly. That's kind of a good idea. That would be the easiest thing and make it not look too crazy, so I think that's probably what I'll do. But also, I have to make more houses, so I think what I should do is take the biggest one and make them all that height from now on. And add sky. Hopefully I have enough sky fabrics of these other ones I already made. If not, I'll find something close. Yeah, I think that's my plan. Okay, so my foreground needs to be 2 inches finished, so I extended this one with the same fabric, and then each block is going to be as tall as this one, which is 13¼ inches. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to add in some little elements to the sky so that I don't have like a tall piece of sky right here without something interesting. So like I'm going to try to use this rain cloud right here and sort of frame it in the sky above this house. Since I have to add more sky anyway, I might as well put something cute in it. I have like some little birds, so I'll see what I can do with these. Okay, if I just flew through that and you didn't get it, I mean how to do it, don't worry, the ebook, I mean the little how-to guide will teach you how to insert little things at will, because that's something the original house tutorial doesn't really go into detail about. You should understand it if you watch the house tutorial, but if you don't worry, the little mini guide will tell you how. Okay, now I have 2 the same height. Moving on. Also, I was completely wrong in my quilt math, as usual. I'm always wrong about quilt math. I was concerned that the quilt was going to be way too big if I put houses all the way around, but it's not. I don't know what I was measuring. But now that some of it's put together, it's definitely not going to be overly gigantic. So I've been proven wrong. All right, I have an update. I have finished the houses. I did make them to go all the way around, so I made 1, 2, 3, 6 more. The beach houses are more like 3, so I now have enough houses to go all the way around it. And now I have been thinking this entire time about the big corners. When you make liberated quilts like this, it's hard to know what to do with the corners. But I wanted to do, I'm gonna unsew the corner that I made with the girl in the ocean and stuff. I think that block is really cute, but it just looks weird because it's very directional and it's on there sideways, but it didn't look right facing up and down either because of the quilt being such a round robin type of thing. So I might use that block on the back of the quilt for fun or keep it and use it for something else down the road. So I I'm wanting to do like a sun, moon, and stars kind of things for the corner blocks with some kind of starburst and sunburst elements. So I got out my iPad on Procreate and sort of drew out what I was thinking. So let me see if I can show you. This is very primitive. Don't judge my drawing skills just based on this. I'm not sure if you can see. Maybe I'll try to get a different shot of it. So I'm going to try to put a sun with sun rays in one corner, a moon. I have this cute moon scrap. Let me show you. I've been keeping this since the beginning because I wanted it. Oh, look, it has a half moon over here. But I only have this moon that's usable. So I'm gonna put this in one corner with like moonbeams. I'm gonna put sort of an ocean sunset with strips in this corner and then sort of like a space burst in the other corner. So that's what I'm gonna do next. And then all I have to do is add, I'm still gonna use I unsewed my border because I really liked it, but it was such a stark, it was an eye drawer. And being the gradient that it just took too much attention away from everything else that's going on. So instead, I'm going to just pair these up and have them be like a scallop around the entire edge of the quilt. And so I'm gonna make it more scrappy, not a color gradient like it was before. So I'm gonna have to make a lot more of those, but thankfully they're really fast. That tutorial is posted. If you wanna watch that, I'll put the link to it. Oh yeah, so it'll look like this. And then I will be moving on to the borders. So yeah, let's see how the corners go. Okay, so for these blocks, I'm going to sort of paper piece them. This one's gonna have a sun in this corner and it's gonna have like beams around it. Okay, so what I'm doing is using a paper piecing technique to create the sunbeams that I want, and then I'm going to do a wonky quarter circle, kind of like I'm doing with the border. So I will make a whole video on paper piecing soon because it's a really useful skill to have if you're trying to make shapes and it's difficult to piece them the normal way, especially if you're doing it liberated like me. Then drawing your design on paper in straight lines can be really helpful. So I'm just making my sunbeams with the sunshiny fabrics that I want to use, and then I will finish the sun block. It's actually going pretty quick. Having to use some pins, which you don't normally do with paper piecing, but this is also larger than you would normally do with paper piecing. Make sure I got my fabric in there. Yep. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, I barely made it. Yeah, that's better. It's cute. I brought it in here to my bedroom. Put it on my bed so I could sort of see it. It's kind of outgrown the design wall, but all the houses are attached. And yeah, the main parts are all completed. So I'm just going to continue to make the quarter square triangles. I mean, quarter circle blocks to go all the way around the edge. Okay, I finished it. Look, you guys! Okay, maybe this is a better view. It's really hard to photograph an entire quilt by holding it up. It's so pretty though. Okay, so I have the apartment, then the trees, then the cars, houses, and then I did use my quarter circles as a border. In the corners I have a sun, I have a moon, I have an ocean. It's upside down, here like this. And I have mountains with a moon. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, that's it. I'm very, very proud of it. I think it might be the best thing I've ever made. It was definitely a creative process like none I have experienced before. I just found myself, I just couldn't wait to get in here and keep working on it. And sometimes a problem would present itself and I would sleep on it and then the solution would just come to me. And it was just so much fun. I hope you're inspired to try it. Don't forget you can go over and to my shop and get the Wonky House how-to guide, either this physical one or the printable version, or you can just scroll through it on your computer. You don't have to print it out. The digital version, that's the word I was trying to find. And so I really hope you enjoyed this and that you're inspired to make some wonky houses. And what else did I want to say to you? I hope that's everything. I have already started, you can see on my design wall, another quilt. Also sort of an improv quilt, but not like wonky, not free-pieced, I guess is what you want to say. I'm really excited about that one too. So stay tuned, maybe I'll share some of that one soon. I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by.